your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
We'll have Ranger Baseball on the air for you 12 hours from now. They take on the Nationals, trying to win Game 2 of that series. They'll finish up that series tomorrow afternoon at 1, and then the Rangers head to Kansas City to take on the Royals over the weekend. This question for you, Jamie, off the Yates Flooring Center chat line. This is in reference to yesterday. Hey, Jamie, are the boys' socks any drier today?
I would imagine so.
Okay.
Yeah, I would imagine they feel better about getting a fresh pair, and the sitting in wet socks feeling is gone.
Okay.
You would like to think they're not still thinking about, if you're just lamenting what happened over the weekend after your team wins 11-6 on Tuesday, just kind of feels like you're kind of a negative Nancy pessimist guy.
Yeah.
You just got to move on, right?
Yeah, you do.
And you win on Tuesday night, so I would think the socks are much drier today.
Yeah. Okay. How long do you think? Do you think they have a 24-hour rule? I mean, do you think that's a 12-hour rule, or does it change when you're on? Does it change when you're in a series? And like, for instance, you're going to play Friday night and then come back and play Saturday afternoon. You don't have 12 hours to lament a loss. You have to get over it right away. Now, in the middle of a week, or maybe Sunday going into a Tuesday game, you might have all Monday to kind of suck your thumb, so to speak, a little bit, and then get yourself ready for a baseball game. But sometimes you don't have that much time, right? You got to have that amnesia right away.
Yeah, I don't think they put a number on it, Chuck.
Yeah.
I don't think they have a certain amount of hours. I don't think there's a little calendar in the clubhouse that they cross off.
No countdown clock, bad news countdown clock or good news countdown clock,
I think they just talk about moving on.
Moving on.
Show up at the ballpark next day and be ready to play.
Yeah. I know you didn't, but if you had kind of run your dry sock philosophy by Coach Tadlock, how do you think he would have been receptive to that?
Yeah.
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 Do you think he would have said, Jamie, that's a good one?
He might have.
Jamie,
it wouldn't be the first time that he actually, agreed with something I said.
Okay.
I mean, he's disagreed many times too. But
yeah. Has he?
I don't know. Just every once in a while.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you remembered what something that you said to him or asked him and he said, "No, Jamie, you're dead wrong on that one, or you're dead right on that one."
I can't remember anything specifically.
Okay. How many of Coach Tadlock's 450 wins have you seen at Texas Tech? I was thinking about that this morning. It's like, I wonder what I was thinking. I bet you Jamie knows what his record is as a broadcaster.
I do not.
Oh, okay. All right.
But, I mean, I probably missed, in the 12 years, I probably missed, as far as the wins go, I don't know, 10 or 12.
Okay. I was going to say 10 to 20, something like that. Okay. That's pretty good. You're a good luck charm. You keep you around.
Well, I was there for a lot of the losses, too.
Well, I know, but there's more wins than there's losses. But 450 in his short amount of time, that's it. I know that people don't necessarily always want to look at those career kind of numbers, but I mean, that's still impressive. I mean, it's very impressive actually when you think about it.
I think so, absolutely.
When you think about when he got here and kind of where it was, and then what he's done since he's gotten here. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. You do have 12 hours to think about it, Chuck. You just don't have 24 hours to do so. Okay. All right. Scores from last night besides Texas Tech. The Red Raiders won, by the way, over UTRGV 11-6. Oklahoma takes one on the chin to Oral Roberts last night in Tulsa, 3-1. Anything we should take away from that game?
It's a midweek game.
Okay.
I wouldn't take anything away from it.
Okay.
Yes, Oklahoma's lost three in a row. They're reeling. Oh, no. Yeah.
That's the worst thing you really want to face is a team that's lost 3 in a row coming into a Big 12 series, right?
I don't think it matters that much.
Okay.
Yeah, just go be better than them on Friday. Doesn't matter what either one of you did the weekend before or the midweek before.
Okay.
Feels better to coming in with a win, though.
Yeah, I mean, it feels better. I don't know if they called it a backyard brawl, but they played at PNC Park. That's pretty cool. West Virginia won.
Backyard beatdown.
Yeah, West Virginia won 11-1 over Pitt. Okay. Yeah, backyard beatdown.
I actually referenced that saying last night, and I kind of was annoyed with myself.
Why? Because
you say it so much.
Backyard brawl?
Yes. I'm like, stop, Jamie.
So
I said it once. The next 5 times I mentioned the score, I didn't say it again.
You felt dirty about it?
I did. I really did. There's just certain saying that it's not just you, but like in sports, people say certain sayings all the time too much, and then they get stuck in your head.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some ones that I say that get stuck in people's heads, whatever, that, that have to do with a baseball game that are annoying too. So, but that's one that I'm like, they can play without saying backyard brawl.
I got chucked on that.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Well,
because everybody else says it a bunch doesn't mean that I have to. So I was annoyed with myself.
Sure. Well, I'm honored that I was in your head last night too. But I'm sad that it was negatively. It's like you can't get away. Are there any times?
But you're not the only one. I mean, that says that.
No, I know. I'm not the only one that says that, but I probably say it the most to you. Somebody asked this question: are they making the tournament this year? This is stupid crazy, but you're 12-12, and there's 3 teams that aren't going to make the Big 12 tournament, and BYU and Houston are not going to make it. I don't know if they've been officially eliminated yet, but they're pretty doggone close. But somebody is not going to make it that thinks they're going to make the Big 12 tournament right now. Right? I mean that's whether it's Kansas State or UCF or Baylor or TCU. Who's the most likely candidate there, do you think?
Well, TCU is the closest to missing out.
Yeah, they're 10-14.
Yeah. How about here's the shocker of all shockers. Your RPI jumped up 4 spots after last night's win. Maybe it has to do with some other wins from teams that you've played this year, whatever, but you went from 41 to 37.
You'll take it, right?
When you're in the 30s, you feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Flower there. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Just put the flower or flowers?
Flowers. Yeah, a basket of flowers.
Okay, just put the flowers there. Don't knock on their door.
Yeah, so knock on the door and then. Because
then there's a positive and a negative there. They can cancel each other out. Just leave them the flowers.
What if they're allergic? And you don't know.
What if they're allergic?
Well, they could still put them in their backyard and then just not get real close to them.
Yeah, I mean, they can give them to a neighbor.
And then they can be thought of as the nice neighbor.
Yeah.
Regifting at its best right there.
Right there, yeah. With this day in sports history, here is Jeff McGuire.
1891, legendary pitcher Cy Young wins his first game played at Cleveland League Park. Cleveland Spiders 12, Cincinnati Redlegs 3. 1920, legendary slugger Babe Ruth records his first home run with the New York Yankees in a 6-0 win over his former club, the Boston Red Sox.
Wow, how about that? Cy Young and Babe Ruth getting their first on the same day.
Oh, just wait. There's more.
Oh,
1951.
There's a theme here.
Future Baseball Hall of Fame slugger Mickey Mantle hits his first career home run in an 8-3 win over the White Sox in Chicago. 1969, Houston Astros hurler Don Wilson blanks the Reds 4-0 for his second career no-hitter at Crosley Field in Cincinnati.
It would have been better if it was his first to go with those other guys.
1988, after scoring 50 points in Game 1 of the NBA Eastern Conference Playoff Series, Michael Jordan had 55 in the Bulls' 106-101 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 2. He is the first to score 50-plus points in consecutive playoff games.
What year was that again?
1988.
1988.
It was just so much fun then. Oh, it was so much fun watching Jordan in those early days, even when the Bulls weren't good. Mm-hmm. And it almost made it better because it was just like, Michael, just go score all the points you can. and it was a blast to watch.
Yeah.
1991, Texas Rangers starting pitcher Nolan Ryan pitches his major league record 7th no-hitter, beats Toronto 3-0, and Ryan is the oldest ever to throw a no-hitter at 44.
Wow.
And on the same day, a little later in the evening.
No,
Yeah.
I can't remember. I know there's something significant. Is there another no-hitter?
No.
Okay.
Could it be a stolen base?
Oh, it's Ricky Henderson.
Oakland Athletic outfielder Ricky Henderson steals the all-time Major League Baseball record 939th base in a 7-4 win over the Yankees in Oakland.
Okay, so here's one of those sports things people say too much. What am I going to say now?
Ricky being Ricky?
Ricky, that's the first thing that came to my head.
Nailed it.
I overthought it. Good job, Jeff.
Yeah.
And in 2016, the number 10 Texas Tech Red Raiders claimed their 5th Big 12 Conference Series victory of the season as the Red Raiders limited number 6 TCU to just 6 hits in a 3-1 victory. Red Raiders used 5 strong innings from Ty Dameron and 4 shutout frames from the bullpen to secure their first regular season series victory against a top 10 ranked opponent on the road since Tech took 2 of 3 for number 10 Kansas State in 2009.
That was at TCU?
That was at TCU.
Yeah, that was a really auspicious start. He gave up I don't remember if it was a walk or a hit to lead off the game. And then a towering fly ball to left field that looked for the world like it was going to be out. And 2-run shot with nobody out in the first. And, man, here we go. And so it ended up being second. It went off the top of the wall and ended up being second and third with nobody out. I can't remember if he didn't allow any runs at that point or if he only gave up 1. But it felt like it was huge, massive, that the Red Raiders took all the momentum out of the inning, only giving up the 1. And then he pitched, like you just mentioned there, he was solid, and the offense got going, and that was a huge, huge Sunday afternoon win in Fort Worth. Man, that was a good one.
It is the first of the month, so it's American cheese, lettuce, barbecue, egg, strawberry, and vinegar month.
Okay.
I'll take American cheese tops on that list. Strawberry second.
Barbecue for me. Strawberry second.
Really take off the vinegar?
Yeah.
I'm okay with the whole list. Not a big fan of vinegar.
Oh, I hate the smell.
Yeah, I'm with Jamie on that. I'm not a big cheese guy except on pizza.
And vinegar takes a really good cucumber and ruins it.
Happy Chocolate Parfait Day.
Okay.
And Rotate Your Beer Day.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Just that's what it is.
Go to a different one?
Or,
one?
make sure that you get your older beers in the front of the fridge.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you should do that anyway. It shouldn't just
does
be a
beer
day.
go bad?
It can. It can.
I wouldn't guess that it does very often, though, because it seems like people who drink beer, they get after it. They're not trying to let it age.
Happy 43rd birthday to this guy.
5 punts, 49-yard average for Skates, and here he goes. Puts his foot into it. This one a wobbler towards the right side of the field. Welker takes it at the 11. He's going to try to get to the right sideline. Breaks the tackle. He's got running room at the 30, the 35-40. He's the midfield, the 45-40. He may go. 25, 10. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Oh, my goodness. 89 yards on the punt return, and Tech has the lead.
Goodness.
Tim McGraw also...
Who am I?
Huh?
Who am I?
You're the guy in the picture.
I'm the coolest Red Raider fan in the history of ever.
Well, wouldn't you love to be that guy? Because that's in the middle of a bunch of Aggies, right?
I have no idea what he's doing with his life, so I don't know that I would just jump out and say that, but I think that... he may be on death row for all we know, Chuck.
Sure, right.
I don't know.
Might be on crack cocaine.
Yeah.
Tim McGraw, 57. Ray Parker Jr. from who you going to call Ghostbusters fame is 70. And Curtis Martin is 51. And on this day, 1945, holed up in his bunker underneath his headquarters in Berlin, Adolf Hitler commits suicide by swallowing a cyanide capsule and shooting himself in the head. Couldn't have done that 5 years earlier. Soon after Germany's unconditional surrender to the Allied forces, ending Hitler's dream of a 1,000-year Reich.
I'll say this much. I mean, he was thorough.
He was thorough, yes.
Yeah, 5 years late. But
Cyanide pill and a shot to the head.
It's amazing he didn't miss the shot to the head after taking the cyanide pill.
And that is this day's sports history.
I'm not sure how fast those things work. I've never tried. So.
I don't know that I want to take a shot at it either. All right, Double T 97.3 in the home zone, making your house a home, are giving away $10,000 to lucky local listeners. All you have to do is register and go to doublet973.com to do that every morning at this time, 8:45 and then 4:45 in the afternoon. Listen for the lucky local winning word, then log on to doublet973.com. Very simply enter the local winning word for your chance to win weekly cash every Tuesday and Thursday. Somebody will win tomorrow. All right. The more times you enter, the more chances you have to win. It's not a national contest. It is a local contest. So the money will be given away to those of us that stumble around here in Lubbock, Texas, USA. We'll give away $2,500 on June the 20th at 2 Docks. So keep tuned in. It's a cash giveaway with the Home Zone, making your house a home, and Double T 97.3. Those of you that have students that will be going to this high school soon will become very familiar with this particular name, Jamie, this nickname, at 6:45. If your student in the Lubbock greater area is going to go to Memorial High School in Wolforth, you know that they are the Panthers. Panthers is our lucky local winning word at 6:45. Panthers. 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 Okay, go to doublet973.com, get registered, and you too could win $250 from Double T 97.3 and the Home Zone. All right.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Drive. Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. We'll have Ranger Baseball on the air for you tonight. That'll be at 6:30, balls and strikes, just after 7 on Double T 97.3. High School Fan Zone tonight on 100.7 The Score. That'll be at 6 o'clock tonight. Here's the lineup for you. Friendship coach, tennis coach, Chris Wiles. Is that right, Wiles?
That's right.
Okay. 6:20, Cooper softball coach, Brad Wunsch. It's funny, his name is looks harder to say, and I asked you a question about a guy with 5 letters. And then at 6:40, we'll have Liberty tennis coach Lamar Kello. Okay. Do you know Coach Kello?
I do not.
Okay. Hey, and congratulations to the Liberty boys golf team. Not only did they have the overall champion, Reed Blacklock, but they also won the 3A state championship.
Awesome.
This is year 1.
Yeah, that's very
this
cool.
is like they, it's not like they had to cobble together golf clubs because these guys, obviously played a lot of golf. But we're talking about freshmen and sophomores that in a brand new high school and come together and golf's an individual sport. I get it, but still win the state championship your first year. Hard to top that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, hard to top that. So congratulations to them. Anyway, we'll have that show for you tonight at 6 on 100.7 The Score. Okay. Like I said, Rangers with the game tonight at 6:30 and balls and strikes just after 7. They won last night thanks to a superb pitching performance from John Gray. Okay. Bobby Hot Dog says this: Chuck should create a new sport and call it Bizarro Baseball. It would have fair poles, RSBI, and flat bases.
That'd be fun.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. I don't know how fun that would be, but it would be. And somebody says this with regard to Wunsch. Well, I knew a guy in high school whose name was Wunsch, and that's how he spelled it and how he said it. And somebody says on this, and I'll take your word for it, Winchy. Okay. I'll take your word for it. So
yeah, I could believe either. I really don't know. That's not doesn't look like an easy one to pronounce.
Yeah, but I'm not going to fact check you. I'll just say Winchy. Okay, Brad Winchy, Coach Winchy will be on tonight from Lubbock Cooper. That'll be at 6:20. I wonder if the lucky ladies had to sub for his class. All those coaches, they're gone all the time. They always need somebody to come in and take roll, help them out. Make sure everybody's in their proper spot, all those things. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, bad news for Mike Trout. Man, this guy cannot catch a break. And, as much as he's been the face of baseball, right now it seems like he's also the face of the injury report. He's suffered a torn meniscus in his left knee. It's going to require surgery, and he'll be out for 4 to 6 weeks. But that's the best kind of timeline that people have guessed on. The Angels have not announced a true timetable. Trout said it's just frustrating, but we'll get through it. I mean, you kind of look at what's going on with Josh Young right now. You feel like he's snake bit with his injuries. But then you look at a guy like Mike Trout and he's really, really snake bit. Seems like he cannot catch a break.
Yeah, to the point that I don't even see him as the face of baseball anymore. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think he once was, but I think he's kind of forgotten now.
Yeah, he's 32 years old, and plays on a team that hasn't won big, and now they have lost Shohei Ohtani. Would you say Ohtani's the face of baseball?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any tarnishment with him with the gambling stuff?
I don't know if there is or not. It doesn't appear that there's any proof to any of that. I will just say, for me personally, I have a hard time believing that he's completely innocent in the whole deal. If that's the case, it seems like he was really naive.
Yeah, right. And it's hard. I mean, it's hard to believe.
But I'll also tell you, I'm not dying for anybody to dig into it and find out more.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with we can all just play dumb.
Okay. In a way, in his particular case, it's not like he harmed anybody. He was the one that was harmed because he's the one that lost, let's just say, if the number is correct, it's $16 million, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, even if he lost $1 million, that's still a lot of money, even to somebody that, has a big, super huge contract. I mean, nobody wants to lose money. You just wonder how you can't keep track of a little bit of that. There was a report yesterday, so this is kind of how they did this. The money went out in $500,000 payments that Ippy Mizuhara, who was his interpreter, he took out of Ohtani's bank account, then sent them to an illegal bookmaking operation, and then that went from California to Las Vegas casinos. Then the money was put into gambling accounts, okay, by these guys, and they converted that to chips, and they cashed them out to pay the bookie. And then they also used some of those chips to gamble themselves, and if they won, they kept it. If they lost, it went to the arena, or to the casino. There was a guy by the name of Matthew Boyer who took his bets, but he was also a customer at this casino in Vegas. So Mizuhara would pay his losses to Boyer's associate, who then forwarded the money to his own marker accounts at Resorts World. Sounds very clandestine, doesn't it? And then the men would withdraw those chips from the marker account, gamble with them, and if they won, they cashed out, and the money would be clean at that point in time and untraceable. But then, obviously, at some point in time, it became clear and obvious what was going on, and a little investigation by the gumshoes, and next thing you know, Shohei Ohtani's like, hey, I'm $16 million light in my account, which, again, how does that happen? But like you said, I don't know that I really want to know how that happened, or how much did Ohtani know. It's just hard to believe that he would just kind of miss $16 million.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's just, but I guess when you have that amount of money, you have.
That's right. You're not checking your account balance every day.
No, you're not. You're not balancing your checkbook. You're not going, oh, okay, I've got this bill going out, this bill going out, I've got to move a little money here, move a little money. No, you're not probably doing that. You've got people that are doing that for you. 7:23 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Take your thoughts and comments. Yates Flooring Center chat line. Astros did win last night, so that's 3 straight since my declaration that they were not going to make the playoffs. I still don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I mean, They've won 3 straight. Here we go.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it's a one division, one team division as far as postseason goes.
Yeah, you got to win the division to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what it looks like. That's exactly what it looks like right now. Minnesota Twins are on quite a run, Jamie. They've won 9 in a row.
Nice. Yeah, they're killing it. 9
in a row.
And the Guardians are playing really good baseball up until their loss to the Astros last night.
Yeah, so we'll have the Astros on after the high school fan zone. That'll be on 100.7 The Score. That'll come your way at 7. Again, the Rangers and the Nationals tonight from Arlington at 6:30. And we'll have the play-by-play just after 7. And then those two teams will play an afternoon affair tomorrow. Okay?
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Got a Big 12 post-spring football power ranking poll by one guy, Jamie.
Okay.
We'll go through that at 8 o'clock. At 7:45, it's the Boom, Boom, Boom. And next, your question of the day.
Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Is the one guy from Italy?
No.
I'd been much more impressed if he was.
No.
I would have definitely felt like he was a multifaceted guy. Very talented young man who could do, both make a pizza and also
calzones.
And also predict college football.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I can't make pizza very well, so. And some would say I probably can't predict college football very well, considering that you guys, I think Jeff crushed us last fall in the pick'em contest.
Yeah.
So. All right, so here's my question for you today. It's kind of a holdover for one that we used yesterday afternoon, but I'll tweak it a little bit. Okay? I want you guys to tell me. I want you to fill in the blank. I really want to see the Texas Tech football team improve on blank this upcoming season.
Feels like match game, but we need the match game music for this. Dun, 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 dun. I really want to see the Texas Tech football team improve on second down.
Chuck, do me a favor. Wiggle the bottom of your mic. I think you bumped it, so it's not connected anymore.
How's that? There we go.
Try that again. You want to see them improve on?
I want to see them improve on second down. The reason is I don't have any stats to back this up. It just seemed like we were third and forever a lot.
But it's only second down that you're blaming this on?
Well, I mean, first down is a component of that, but first down is kind of a, you just kind of got your breath, so to speak, after getting a first down, or you just got the ball back. But, second down, and this needs to be more productive. I think second down needs to be more productive. I think you were third and forever a lot. And as a result of that, I'm just also trying to be a little bit different here than say, whoa, I think the offensive line needs to be better, or, well, I think the quarterback play needs to be better, or we need to run between the tackles better. I think we talked about this a little bit during the season.
We did a good job running between the tackles.
Okay. Maybe outside the tackles. I think
we did a good job running, period, last year.
Okay. Well, I just feel like that we were third and long a lot. How about that?
Okay.
Execution. I feel like a lot of times last year, specifically on offense, a play was called and two different plays were run at the same time by either the receivers or the quarterback. They weren't on the same page a lot is what it felt like to me. Improve that, and I think your offensive passing gets improved.
Okay.
You got probably two answers that you really weren't expecting there.
I would like to see Texas Tech get after the quarterback more.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked yesterday to see that the Red Raiders had 28 sacks all of last season. That seemed shockingly high to me.
Okay.
Choice pointed out to me that he thought that 13 of them were combined between the Baylor game and the bowl game. I don't know if that's true or not, but
Wow.
that would leave you with 15 for the other however many games, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, that
games.
number is the one that feels right. So I think Choice is right on that.
Yeah. So I just feel like even not just about the sacks, but I felt like you had such a hard time getting off the field last year, and the third down percentage for your opponent was 41%. So more than 4 out of 10 times they're picking up that first down. And I just think you'd be a much better third down defense if you've got a guy wreaking havoc in the backfield. And to me, it just felt like he didn't do enough of that last year.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I was looking to see if there was a second down stat on the stat sheets, and there's not. But
I've definitely heard people talk about, hey, your third down efficiency has to improve. I've also seen guys talk about, hey, if you're good on first down, you really set up the rest of that series, right?
yeah.
You don't hear a lot of people talking about the importance of second down.
Yeah,
so, I mean, you're thinking outside the box.
I'm thinking outside the box. So, but here's where you were. This is what you were on third down last year. You were 77 of 195. That's
You're 39%.
39%. And your opponent was not that much better, 79 of 191 for 41%. But
I think 41% defensively seems high to me. You can go back other years and see and judge it. I'm not really certain.
Okay.
But it felt like there were a lot of third and shorts last year. It felt like you just had a hard time getting off the field at times.
And then on fourth down, Tech was 24 of 37 last year. That's 65%. Your opponent was 11 of 25 on fourth down. I'd love it if you could reduce the number of times you're going for it on fourth down.
Mm-hmm.
Because
be way better on second down, and you won't have to.
Right, that's the whole point.
Or first or third.
Or first or third. But I mean, if you're better on second down, if you're completing a pass, or you're making it third and short, third and 3 or third and 4, as opposed to third and 7, then you're not in that deal of, okay, we're at our own 37-yard line, are we going to go for it on fourth down? And then we do, and if we don't get it, then we put the other team in great field position. So if you're better, I mean, you could say, well, be better on all the downs. Well, I get that, but I mean,
that's what I would say.
Yeah, be better on all the downs.
I don't know why we're singling out second down.
Well, I just thought
poor second down feels like he's being picked on.
I just felt like you could be, instead of it being a waste down, that you could be a little bit more productive with it. That was just kind of what I was thinking there. That you could be a little more productive on second down.
Or you could execute more on second down better, like Jeff is saying.
Yeah, right.
On second down.
Right.
A word that's popped up a couple of times on the chat line is efficiency. And maybe that's a better word than the execution. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm in that same vein. Like, that's down the path of what I want them to improve on.
Well, we heard after the season, right, that there were a significant number of plays that the quarterback checked out of for whatever reason, because he thought he saw something, and maybe at the end of the day what he thought was a disguise, and we should have run the play that was called. I don't know.
Well, you got to coach him to do that as well.
Yeah, right. 7:40 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line.
This is the Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
It's great to have you with us. It is Wednesday. It's the first day of May, so hopefully you're off to a good start. Today is the day the work gets done. One day closer to the weekend. Obviously, the Red Raiders won last night, so everybody's got a little extra bounce in their step, and hopefully that can propel you on to doing that Friday, Saturday, and have wishful thinking, fingers crossed, all those kind of things. A sweep of the Sooners, but hey, we'll just worry about Friday, right?
I think they're probably worrying about it today. Yeah, they're prepared for it. Yeah, but I don't know if I necessarily completely agree with the
extra bounce in the step.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, okay, we did what we had to do there. Let's you gotta win some important games coming up. And
No, I get it.
yeah, but it could have been worse, right? You could have been dragging yourself in those wet socks that we talked about yesterday.
Right. So, I mean,
soggy socks.
a win is a win, man. And you kind of feel like, okay, well, that's what we do at home. We win. So kind of feel like you need to pick up some more wins to, so you're not nervous on Selection Monday.
Yeah, it's sad that we can't appreciate the home record and what you do at home, because it just reminds us of how you've struggled on the road.
Yeah, 22-4,
and not just struggle with wins and losses, but you look like a completely different baseball team.
Which is so, it's just so odd. I mean, but sometimes that happens. Okay, somebody. Okay, here's. I do want to get to this power ranking, but here's a question for you, Jamie, because I don't think this is the case. Does the baseball team use different balls for non-conference games? I caught a home run ball yesterday, and it is different than the last few I've caught.
I wouldn't think they use different balls. I guess I would ask, different in what way? Is it Is it
just to have doesn't have the Big
does
12
it have a
logo
stamp on it?
Right,
or,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Yeah. That's. I mean, are the seams different? Did you take it to your tester?
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's got a tester at home. Mm-hmm. Like, oh yeah, man, this ball feels different. Okay. So I don't know. But I will say this though. I mean, because again, we talked about this the other day. Confidence is important in sports. Confidence is important in life. And if you have confidence going into, you hit 4 home runs last night. Does Gavin Cash feel a little bit better about his swing because he got 2 home runs last night?
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah. Damian Bravo. I mean,
I guess the part of that goes against that is what I was talking about earlier with the inconsistency of that's you're like, okay, well, this guy, he just put a good outing together. He's kind of turned the corner. And the next time out, you're like, is this the same guy? Did somebody steal his jersey? Right. I mean, there's been none of it. It just has never. One thing that I was thinking about the other day, there's really never been this stretch this year where you had one guy just killing it and just carrying you. Like Damian Bravo was really good at the beginning of the season, but even Damian's not like he's not a big home run hitter where it's like, I don't know. I mean, his average and on base percentage was phenomenal, but there's just never been this stretch where you got a guy hot. Whether, go over the course of the years when you would see that from so many different guys for the Red Raiders. There's never been that dude that just carried you for a stretch, right? You just never.
Climb on, boys. I've got you.
Yeah, you've just never had that this year for whatever reason.
I heard Coach Tadlock talk about this the other day. I mean, he wasn't using this as an excuse, but he was just stating a simple fact about how young this team is. Is there something to that? I mean, you guys have talked a little bit about leadership and where's the internal leadership in terms of, hey, let's cut this stuff out. We've got to play better on the road, or hey, come on, young man, figure it out, or whatever. However those conversations go inside the team, I
think you're young at some key spots. I mean, obviously really, especially on the mound, right? I mean, you have a weekend starter that's a freshman. Mm-hmm. You have basically your closer that's a freshman. You have TJ Pompey, your second baseman, who was your shortstop at the beginning of the year. That's a freshman. That's not to say that guys like Tracer Lopez, who's in a true sophomore season, and remember, he came to Tech a year early. Mm-hmm. Okay, that he's not young as well, and there's some truth to that. I think that the reason that stands out is just because at times the veterans haven't been veteran-like, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. You cover that up when your veterans are really good. Your veterans are really good and you're healthy in the pitching staff, and you're not having to rely on freshmen in those spots. But unfortunately, you are. And we can all look at it now and say, okay, well, that's going to make them better down the stretch. And it's going to make them better in the future because they've got this experience and all that, but that's not helping you right now.
Yeah.
So I think you're having to rely on those guys, and Pompey's really struggling at the plate right now, and he's been so good for you offensively this year. I know there have been some defensive miscues, but he's won for his last 30.
Yeah, in the Big 12, it's just really
doesn't have a hit in the last 2 weekends in Big 12 play.
I mean, to say it's a struggle is not even that's giving him more credit than he probably deserves on that.
Yeah, and Coach Tadlock has talked to me, and I don't think he would have a issue with me telling this story on air, but he's talked to me off air about just how much he loves how hard TJ Pompey works and how much he appreciates his passion. He said, there's players over the years that you question whether they even care.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, this dude cares. This guy really puts in the effort. And so I think you can see there's talent there, and so you have a little bit of a longer leash, in that regard, when you see a guy that works that hard and is passionate about it and doesn't seem like a guy that's only in it for himself or anything like that there is that belief. But Coach Tadlock will tell you, and he said this many times before, maybe one of the bad traits that I have is sometimes I trust my guys too much. And in that regard, he's saying, hey, a guy's in a slump, but I'm not going to make him bunt, or I'm not going to pull him out of the lineup because I trust that he's going to work his way out of it, and I'm going to give him a chance to work out of it. But I don't know. And then I wonder, and just call me crazy on this, and this is no knowledge of any of this, okay? But I think you're silly not to wonder. I mean, a talented guy like Pompey that is going to be a good player, all of those things. Do you have to, as a coach, hey, if I sit this guy on the bench and somebody else takes a spot and he doesn't play much the rest of the way, am I going to lose this guy?
Yeah.
Is he going to be gone at the end of the year?
I think that's a real.
I worry that you're in a situation where coaches now have to think, I can't be really hard on this kid. I can't send a message to him as a freshman to say, hey, you're going to put more effort. And I'm not talking about Pompey here, but
just in general.
Yeah, I can't send a message, say you got to earn your spot or you got to work harder or whatever, because if I do it too much, if I go the tough love card, then there's a good chance I lose the guy. I
think that's a real fear that all coaches have at this level with probably their entire roster. Just knowing that they're going to constantly be recruiting their own players in addition to new players because somebody else is going to be in their ear too.
Yeah.
I think that's, I don't think.
And I'm not suggesting at all that's the case with TJ Pompey. I'm not at all. But, I mean, the way Coach Tadlock talks about him, it makes me believe that those two, that he really wants to play here at Texas Tech. So, I don't necessarily fear that, but I just wonder if coaches have to think about that at times when they want to get onto a kid for not running out a foul or running out a ground ball, or they want to get on a kid for not hustling back on defense. You got to be careful, right?
You got to be careful. You have to have some skins on the wall to know that you can say those things, and if you lose those players, that your athletic director is going to back you. That you've got kind of a contract behind you to help you.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.